guys. Everyone can hear okay? Still working on some settings. Just have. Thank you. Not much to report. It's been. Haven't been doing much singing lately. Just been. I don't know. Haven't been feeling it, I guess. Hi, Jules. Yeah, we're just been sort of sitting around, thinking on what to do. Figured I might come and say hi to everyone. Maybe play a little bit of guitar, but I don't really know a whole lot. I've been playing this. I've been playing. I just play the same things over and over again. I try to keep my beard a little bit shorter in the summer. Yes, it is very warm, especially when I'm at work and I have to wear the full. It's getting a little white though. I know it was sort of once again impromptu. I wasn't really planning on doing it, but no, I haven't had my hair. Actually, I actually did something with it today, sort of. I still got a long way to go before I'll be skinny. But thanks, Mary Jane. Yeah, it's going to be very distinguished pretty soon. Thank you, Linda. It's coming in here too, so hopefully it comes in here before it all goes. I'm getting the salt and pepper beard long before my dad ever did. Yeah, I don't know why. It's like I got one right here. There's a little bit through everywhere, but I got like one big spot right there, and then just here, and a little bit in my mustache. But this side's normal. Hey Mel, how you doing? Sorry to hear about your store. For you that don't follow Curiosity Inc., their store got broken into. It's a shame. Well, hopefully he gets the help he needs, but that's still kind of a crappy way to get what you need. I've dealt with a lot of the places I've worked. I mean, it sucks for the owner. It sucks for the people that are doing it, obviously, to get by. Yeah, he is. Alex is he's a rare breed. He's likes to put him. Well, I shouldn't say likes to. He tends to put himself in other people's shoes first before losing it. I guess it is still morning there for you, Mel. I keep forgetting. A 2-hour time difference. Aloha, Karen. I'm doing okay, Melissa. Thank you for asking. Been working lots. We're starting to ramp back up again to full swing, so just work 6 days straight. I get 1 day off and then back to another probably 6 days. Yes, Bradley. I'll have to check out. Alex did a live here a little while ago. It's up now, but yeah, you got broken into early in the morning. I don't know if I'll be singing live. I like I said, I haven't been singing much lately. I don't even know what to sing. That's the problem. Like I sing and play guitar usually when I'm sitting here, but half the time, as soon as I pull out the guitar, I can't remember any songs I know how to play. Hi, Tanya. I'm not even sure what to play for you guys. Oh, thanks, Mel. I hope everyone does hit the like button. I don't know that one. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot of songs, and me specifically, I've never bought a few. Usually hits. It's something like my parents listen to, so I knew some of the other songs, but I really don't. I don't know a whole lot of them. I sing them out of basically memory, just stuff I've heard over and over and over again. I don't know that one either. Sorry, Bradley. I've that's one song. Walking in Memphis is one song that it seems like everybody does. Metallica, I do know a little bit, but I know a lot of the songs I know are sort of eclectic, like not the main songs. Like I know a little bit of the stuff like that, little riffs and stuff like that. But I listen to more. I'm messing it up. Ding dong song. There's but there's lots. Like I like some of the newer stuff too, from Metallica, but more of the but yeah, like it's kind of weird because I never learn. I don't always learn a whole song. Like I'll learn like the little riffs that I like, and then I don't play the whole song because I don't know. It just feels weird. I mean, I've tried to do a band before, and we just couldn't get together. And it was rough. I always just feel like I need a band to actually play through a song. Otherwise, I sort of get distracted partway. Linda, I have not had a chance to check out Rag and Bone Man. I've just been so crazy. Then when I get home at night, it's usually shower and I'm in bed. I mean, I'll learn just with a little, like any little riffs and anything I can figure out. But I don't know, just stuff to pretend I can show off. Like someone hands me a guitar or something like that, I'm like, oh, I can play, but I can't really. I like the song, but I'll never learn the whole thing. Actually, it really doesn't. Mary Jane Black. The Black Album was like the first album I ever heard from Metallica, and then I went backwards from there. I mean, when it came out, I was in the early '90s, so I was probably 8 or 9. And actually, I don't think my parents were too happy I was listening to Metallica at that time. But I mean, I like a lot of different stuff. Right now, I work. They're 8-hour days, but I work afternoons, so it kind of blows the entire day. Like I do have time in the morning, but when I get home from work, a lot of the time I can't fall asleep right away. So, but I'm in bed and I'll watch TV a little bit, but it's kind of late to do anything. And then I find all of a sudden I'm up until 2 a.m., 3 a.m., and I sleep until 10, and then I have to be back at work at 2. So I have a little bit of time, but I don't. It just feels like it's kind of a waste. It's because I work right in the middle of sort of the time I feel the most um, proactive, I guess. No, it's really, Linda. It's really hard to plan or do anything on those shifts. I mean, when you do go out, like if you're out between 11 a.m. and on, you're kind of right around people's lunch hours and stuff. So, but yeah. Yeah, I don't know. I it's kind of an interesting. I wish I could take a little video inside to show people exactly what it is, but it's fast paced. Put it that way. Oh, well, thank you for tuning in. So, someone from the UK. It always sort of amazes me that people actually come to watch this because I have no plan, no nothing. um, I watch. Okay, well, I watch a lot of anime. I've always been a fan of cartoons and the art and the style. But um, I tend to watch a lot of shows. Like I've watched the entire series of Suits. I binge watched that. That was an awesome series. Um, I watched Blacklist. I haven't caught up with the last season, so no spoilers. I also watched Blind Spot, and I'm still watching that one. I'm waiting for the next episode. Um, but no, I watch. There's some interesting ones, but mostly I like shows that detective shows or true crime or things like that. Of that nature. I really liked Person of Interest. That was one of my favorites. It's funny. I mention that you're sorry, Mary Jane, that you listen to metal bands and you're 64. Well, those of you that came over from Alex's channel at Curiosity know Dave, and I introduced Dave to Metallica, and he really, really liked the Black Album. And it was funny that he said he would play it at work, and people would just look at him strange because they don't expect it. It is really cool. It's I love the fact that there's people from all over the world. And actually, some of you have sent me some really cool links for different music and different bands, and it's been interesting. I haven't gotten into a whole lot of them, but yet, but no, it looks promising. So. Oh, thank you, Eileen. Appreciate it. You know, I try to find stuff, like a lot of people have asked to do stuff in lower keys and all this, and there's been lots of requests, but at all, I can't stand leaving some of the stuff I do out. It's just, I feel it's not good enough, but I mean, everyone's got to try, I guess. So, hi, Dale. How is it down in Texas? Must be just the time. I'm posting at the right time in the UK, I guess. Everyone's available. I noticed we've got a few people that comment from the UK, and actually quite a few from Australia, which is surprising. Sorry if it keeps going dark. I don't have I have a limited space where I can actually do this from, and that window, every time the cloud goes by, it gets brighter and darker. Well, that explains at 7 p.m. everyone's mostly done dinner and settling down. If anyone can guess what that song is, I'd be surprised. One of the more eclectic ones. Still mainstream, but not the one that everyone thinks of. That one actually by A Perfect Circle. Thanks, Min Mins. This is just my lazing around. Oh. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, or I might know a song if you guys if you guys have any requests, but like I said, country's not really my thing. I know a little bit, but not very much. No, that song that I was playing before, is I'm horrible with song titles. It's Perfect Circle, I believe. And for those of you that don't know, A Perfect Circle is kind of made up from a bunch of different bands. The singer from Tool, Maynard James Keenan, and I can't think of his name now, but he's a guitarist from Smashing Pumpkins, and there's a couple others. Shower the People, I don't know. Actually, I know it's, people will say, like, if I'm a James Taylor fan, I should know that one, but actually, that's one of the the ones I don't know that well. I was trying to learn Country Road, which is something like. I can't play Fire and Rain on guitar. If you know, also from Alex's channel, if you know Jamie, a gentleman that played in his store and store from, and said James Taylor has his own style, and it's very, very difficult, and it's sort of become his signature, so it's really hard to learn. Tears in Heaven, I kind of know a little bit of that, but I'm not very good at finger. That's about all I know. That's all I can remember anyway. Usually I have music. I love Clapton, especially Unplugged stuff like a little bit of that one. Some of that stuff I like, and you know, a little bit of the older classic stuff. That up. Sorry. No Mary Jane. I do like Hall & Oates. I don't know any Hall & Oates, so on guitar anyway. You know, Imagine. Sorry, Janet. Imagine is one of the ones I've always wanted to be able to play on guitar, but it's so awkward because it's generally a piano-based song, and I cannot get the chord changes right. I cannot get it to sound right. It's actually way back when Melissa's mom actually bought me the sheet music for it, and I was trying to learn it, and I could never get it. I was 18 years ago. But I was still really new at that point for guitar. I do like that song, Julie. Richard Marx, Right Here Waiting. Haven't sung it yet. Haven't tried it. Never learned it how to play it, but no, it is one of my favorite songs. I do like oldies too. Actually, if any of you have ever been to Alex store when I'm working, generally I usually have like all the old jukebox classics, anything from 40s, 50s. I just love, even early 60s. Just something that has always been playing sort of in the background when I was growing up. I love Nickelback. Actually, I don't really care what people think of my music selections, but as far as I'm concerned, every like people on people's opinion on Nickelback, I think people just get on that train because they think they'll fit in. They sell millions upon millions of albums, and so obviously some likes them. Um, but people who I look at it this way: back album. But if I want to listen to some party rock, Nickelback's the way to go. There's just there's a time and a place for everything. If I want to eat a fancy meal, I'm not going to McDonald's. But every once in a while, you kind of want a greasy burger. But I really liked, actually, I really like rock bands that went with acoustic. Dave with Metallica, and Jerry Cantrell, was an amazing concert. But yeah, I really like Days of the New, stuff like that. Like. Yeah, see, bullying people because they don't like the same things as you, I think, is absolutely stupid. Um, I think people's differences is what actually makes them interesting. I don't know yesterday either. But yeah, I don't understand bullying, period. Really. Why can't people just be the way they are? Actually, I think I have the sheet music for yesterday too. I haven't learned it yet. Yeah. Be nice people. It's a lot, it takes a lot less effort to be kind and courteous and polite than it is to be a jerk and people. That's a lot of effort to put in. I don't like to call it the bully. Yeah. Always be kind. That's the way to go. The more you do it, the more it spreads. It is contagious. That's right. Smile is contagious. I believe that too, Mins. What you put, you get back. So I can go around being that back. So I'm always going to be grumpy because people are going to be grumpy with me. So I'd rather just be a decent human being and, be polite and try to understand that, not everyone's having the best day. And if you can make it a little bit brighter for them, it goes a long way. Hi, Hannah. Smile a day keeps the head doctor away. Yeah, it's pretty close. I don't know what else I should play. Like, I do know, like I said, a little bit of country-ish stuff. I learned this one because a friend told me I couldn't learn it just by hearing it. Brad Paisley, I really like. I like a lot of his stuff. I don't know it all that well. Like I said, I never sort of dive into like a single artist. I did when I was younger. Like that's why I know a lot of Metallica stuff. I know a lot of the metal bands and stuff like that when I was sort of a teenager, and that's all I listened to. But now I just I pick songs that I like, and sometimes that'll lead me down the road to another song of that artist. But I kind of Smoke on the Water. Almost forgot how to play that. That's one of the first songs I learned. Yeah, Runaway Train was one of the first ones. I forget how it goes. That was the hardest chord to learn. It's that G with that extended. I have short fingers, so reaching that is difficult. Yeah, that's just it. I tend to follow songs. If a song is well written, I'll listen to that song, regardless of the body of the rest of their work. I a lot of stock in a band. Sorry if it gets laggy. I don't know why I keep saying my connection is unstable. It's always an awful process when you're learning a new song, Hannah. First album I bought on my own, I think it was actually a Metallica EP. Only had 4 songs on it, but it was awesome. And I think the first album that was given to me was Nirvana Unplugged. Wish You Were Here is one song. I can play it if I'm reading it, but I can never seem to get the timing. I don't know why. It baffles my mind sometimes. Next time I'll have to see if I can hardwire a line instead of using the Wi-Fi, because it's just, I don't know why it's buffering so bad. I'm glad you guys are sticking around. So I forgot all about the Lemonheads. I'll have to re-listen to that one. Aw, thanks, Bucks Fizz. Most of the stuff I played came out of the 90s, which is the same time I learned. So I've just been playing the same stuff over and over, recycling it. Yeah, sometimes not. You can't have it all. Yeah. Yeah, some of the most talented people can be real jerks about it, but they're still worth listening to, and if they can teach you something. Usually it's about this many, 20, 25. '90s music, I don't know. It just reminds me of the good times, being back in high school with all your friends and everything. So. Mary Jane, do you know The Flame by Cheap Trick? I don't. Like I said, I don't know a whole lot. I don't know a whole lot of different bands. Like I don't know a lot of songs. It's just a lot of time I'll just sit here and plunk around and playing. Yeah, there's a whole lot of snobbery in music, Linda. Or sorry, Julie. Yeah, Nevermind was probably one of the best albums. It's one of my favorites too. Oh, it got dark again. Yeah, I gotta get this one repaired. I got a few dead frets and it's a little bit buzzy, and this is my very first guitar that I ever purchased. It's not a very expensive guitar. It's just a cheap Segovia. It was like $200 when I first bought it, brand new. But it was the first new guitar I'd ever owned, and I can't get rid of it. You know, I thought about selling it a few times, but it's so comfortable for me. I'll try not to, Hannah. Yeah, no, it's Nirvana was like a huge thing for me, and when I was first starting out playing guitar, it was the easiest thing to learn because it's mostly bar chords, which once you learn one, you can pretty much move it everywhere on the neck, and it's always the same. It is currently 2:30 p.m. here. And I'm glad I can be making your Sunday afternoon a whole lot better. You guys are making my whole lot better because I was getting kind of bored and I'm procrastinating cleaning the house. So this gives me an excuse to sit around and play guitar. I always feel like phoning, you know, like in the UK or Australia, just in, on like New Year's to talk to people, so I can say like talking to people in the future because they're in a whole nother year. It's always my bad dad joke. Yeah, I think I was 12 when Kurt Cobain died, and I remember being just devastated. I don't know why, but I was just devastated. Yeah, I was sad that there was no Nirvana anymore either. That was all at that time. I think that was all I listened to. That and Green Day. Oh, and Silverchair. I listened to a lot of Silverchair. I was really into the sort of the grunge scene. Oh, that's not how it goes. Well, songs. Oh, thank you, Janet. Yeah, Whiskey Lullaby. That's unfortunately hits a little too close to home sometimes, but that's one of my favorite songs. You know, Hannah, I just watched a video with Billy Joel or Billy Joe from Green Day and his two sons, and they were playing I Think We're Alone Now. And that guy doesn't seem to age. Like, he looks like he's about the same age as his kids. Evanescence and is one of my favorite bands as well. Linda, I don't know. I don't know how to play much of their stuff. I've never had the urge. I kind of stopped playing electric for quite a while, and started going into more acoustic songs. Grunge music dies hard. Once you have it, it's sort of there forever, I think. Oh, the Beatles? Julie? Oh, I messed that up. Hannah, I used to hang around a pool hall in a little town in Fergus, Ontario. And we weren't supposed to, but we did. And we went in there, and we used to always, they had an arcade in there as well, and we used to always play. But I always looked a lot older than I was. And most people still don't believe I'm 38. Very nice melody. Oops. No, I've looked 38 since I was 14, probably. Now I don't. I look a lot older. No, I think when I was 12, I was actually served at a liquor store. I was in with my dad, and I was standing where I was standing. I was just sort of ahead of him, and they asked me what I would like, and my dad just sort of nodded and went, "Yeah." And then once they served me, they're like, "Do you realize you just served a 12-year-old?" I don't know While My Guitar Gently Weeps. I've wanted to learn that song, but I am nowhere near that talented. And people will shoot me because I prefer Jeff Healey's version. But I actually met Jeff players out there that I think top him. There's not too many. He was one of the best. No, it's not. It's not always a compliment. Someone thought I looked 50 once. I especially when I had gained a lot of weight. Someone told me, and I was at that time. I think I was only like 28. Yeah, it's sad. Oh, Blind Melon was another one when um, I used to listen to a lot of Blind Melon, and then when Shannon Hoon overdosed and passed away, it was another one that was sort of crushing because that wasn't very long after Kurt Cobain had passed, and I like I really liked their music. I wish I had your problem, Hannah. I was really popular in high school, though. I got invited to a lot of parties because I could actually go into the liquor store and get served. Yeah, it's not always a good thing, Julie. I could get into pubs and bars if I wanted to. I don't drink. I drink very rarely. Usually at Christmas time. And that's about it. Maybe a few on my birthday, but never really that much. Yeah, that's the good thing. I remember you do have their music. It's sad to think that they won't be able to make any more. But hi, Sheila. Well, I'm glad you could make it. We're just sort of sitting around and chatting. You can tell I'm a kid from the 90s too because I know this one. I don't know. I didn't know it by the original artists. Used to catch bills to play. Learned to walk while I was away. He was talking for a minute when he could. Said I'm gonna be like you, Dad. No, I'm gonna be like you. When you promise and I don't. See, the first time I had heard Cats in the Cradle, I'd actually heard it by Ugly Kid Joe. It wasn't a bad version, but Harry Chapin's version is way better, obviously. I don't do any bluegrass. I don't really know any. It's not something I've ever really gotten into. little carried away with that one. No, I don't know any Elton. I find it like because I'm not really a musician. I play guitar, I strum around, I plunk, um, but I don't uh, I don't write music. I can't read music, so it's really hard to compose something that's mostly piano into something that works on guitar. For me, anyway. That was Tribute by Tenacious D. Just so happened to be the best song in the world. That's the best song in the world. Look into my eyes, it's easy to see. One and one make two and one make. I'm not a big Tenacious D fan either, but the first time I heard that song, I loved it. I love how it's a whole song about it's a tribute because they couldn't remember the best song in the world. That Kyle Gass and Jack Black are actually they're incredible musicians. I Jack Black actually has an amazing voice as well. Thanks, Joy. Some Foo Fighters. I used to know some Foo Fighters, and I can't think of how any of them go at the moment. I don't know Horse with No Name. I know the song. I've heard it, but I don't know how to play it. I actually have it's a book, probably about that thick, and it's just acoustic guitar songs. And I've learned a few, but it's tough. It's really tough because, like I said, I don't know. I'm constantly going back. Most songs with those chords. It's a 4-chord song. There's a good chance I can learn it, but sometimes it's really tough to get timing down, learning strum patterns and stuff like that. I played it at my sister's wedding. Oh, Hannah, I wish I had your Uncle Hazel. By the way, that other song, Champagne High. Well, he wanted me to learn another song, and he said I couldn't do it, and it was actually a little easier than that one. It goes. That's see, I did learn to read music for a little bit, but I wasn't the best at it, and because I did play tenor saxophone in band, and I actually enjoyed actually playing a reed instrument. But I always wanted to play guitar. I actually always wanted to play drums, but it's kind of a hard instrument to have, especially if you live with your parents. They're not really happy. I think the only one he taught me, and I was very poor at it. I can't get my feet going and my hands, and I'm not that coordinated. Well, Linda, you're far ahead of me. Oh, that's cool, Sheila. I always wanted to be able to play piano, but I can never get both hands to work in unison. Too. I can't get these ones. I don't know why. So I have to like adapt everything. Oops. That's all I know. Yeah, I was told the same thing when it came to guitar. They said that my fingers were too short and I wouldn't be able to learn. And it is, some chords are a stretch and it's a pain. But if you really want to do it, you'll figure it out, I guess. Well, that's the one thing. When I went for lessons, I had an amazing teacher, and he's really good. But they want you to learn a certain way. It's probably the proper way. But when you have limitations, physical limitations, it gets difficult. So you have to be creative. But when you're taking a lesson, they don't want you to be creative. They want you to learn it the right way. Yes, I did hear that Alex's store was robbed this morning, and they took his Les Pauls, which is sad. I love Les Pauls. My favorite Gibson though is a Gibson SG, which Alex had at the store. He had an Epiphone SG when I was there. That was one of the ones I was playing in one of his videos, and I loved that guitar. It took me a long time to go to bar chords. Bar chords, once I figured those out, I could fake it. And you know what they say, fake it till you make it. But yeah, I used to play everything with bar chords, like so it was a lot of. I'd wear out strings like so fast, and I'd blisters everywhere. The worst is, this is my worst habit. Take my guitar picks and I put them here when I finger pick. But a lot of time I'll be like sitting on a couch just playing, and I'll fall asleep, and I've almost inhaled one of these. It's bad. It's embarrassing. I've thought about taking vocal lessons, but I can't. I have a real hard time singing in front of people. That's one of the reasons why I've kind of wanted to take all the music off of my channel. But I can't stand listening to it. No problem, Hannah. I'm actually going to be wrapping it up here soon. It's already been over an hour. Oh, I know. I had to have a few drinks to calm my nerves when I played at my sister's wedding, because I'd only been playing guitar. Like I actually had to borrow a friend's guitar because I didn't have an acoustic at that time. Yeah, it's been almost an hour and 15 minutes. So I envy you, Sheila. I wish I enjoyed being on stage and in front of people. I don't. People, I like this drives me crazy. I stutter a lot and never know quite what to say. Well, good for her, Linda. I hope her studies go well. Studying English is that's got to be one of the toughest things. The English language is like one of the worst. I remember learning as I was growing up, just trying to learn how to spell words in school, and that I used to have to say things phonetically so I can remember the spelling, like people. I didn't know why there was an O in people, so I'd always say people, and it was how I remember things. Or my teacher would teach me things like for could, would, should. She used to say, remember, oh, you little devil. So I remember the O-U-L-D, things like that. Or angle and angel, G-E-L instead of, because I'd always misspell it and I'd put G-L-E. Like there was all those little tricks growing up. Or dessert and desert. And you always want more dessert. So that's what you double S. You always want more dessert. Those stupid little things like that, but I'll never forget. Nope. Nope. Oh, that's right. Yeah, it seems like it's natural. For my job, what I was doing before this, I talk to people every day, so I kind of had to get used to BSing. Um, it was just sort of one of the required skills. Yeah, I, I get it from there, I guess. Well, I'm glad to do it, Karen. It's one of those things where um, I don't know, I don't know how to put it in words. I'm happy to do it. Um, it is a little nerve wracking sometimes. Anxiety goes up, but no, I'm happy to get out and share what I can. Maybe it could be dyslexia. But a lot of people say if you can say dyslexia, you probably don't have it. Yeah, it is. And they have different, like the same word can have different meanings. And depending on how you use it and in the context you're using it. So I used to always tell people that, you know, if you're, if something bothers you or you think someone's throwing shade or something like that on a text, call them because when you're reading something, you can put whatever attitude you want on that, how you read it. Like someone could say "Have a nice day," and you can read it like "Have a nice day," or you can read it like "Have a nice day." Like it's really hard to get how someone feels over text. Oh, I'm not that creative. Well, I don't know if anyone saw the put a new channel banner picture up. That was my creativeness for the month. Right, and Minmins, the miscommunications are horrible over text because it it can all depend on how the person that's reading it feels too. Like if they're already feeling defensive, then it makes it just so much worse. I have a hard time with phone conversations, and I do like texting people because I am shy. Um, so when talking to people, I tend to stutter and lose track of my thoughts and stuff like that. But when I'm texting, I can text it, and I also feel like it's less intrusive because a person can answer that text when they get it, or when they have time to answer it. Whereas a phone, they could be on another call, they could be. So I hate imposing on people like that. I've always been kind of shy. I think I need a new set of strings for this thing. It's starting to sound a bit dead. Verbal diarrhea. That's a pretty good way to put it, Linda. The worst thing is, and you can see in a lot of these videos, that I start to ramble. I don't know when to shut up. Oops. See, I'm trying to bad habit. I looked at the guitar in the video that I see. Yep, that's what does it for me too, Linda. It's the anxiety. When as soon as that kicks in, I don't like the awkward silence, so I just keep talking. And you have a good day, Julie. Sorry. Yeah, Karen, it is. It's a little bit nerve wracking to sit here in front of a bunch of people. Hannah, I do too. It comes out of my mouth and I immediately just regret it. Say the dumbest thing or a poor joke. Minmins, that was actually I think it's the namesake for these guitars, which is a Segovia. I don't know if you can read that in the right direction. There's a guitarist named Andre Segovia, and I believe that one's called Irish Lullaby. And I can't play it like he does. He finger picks it all, and it's on classical guitar. I just play the main melody, but he actually expands on that, and it's one of my favorite things. Yeah, I always wanted to be able to play like finger style guitar, but I cannot get these three fingers to cooperate at all when finger picking. I have tried. The other thing is I've tried finger picks, but I don't feel there's enough tactile sensation. Like I can't feel where the finger pick is, and I miss, excuse me, I miss the strings a lot. But and someone's like, well, grow out your nails and actually learn how to play like properly, like a classical guitarist would. But it's one of my biggest pet peeves is I hate the feeling of my nail lifting at all. It just drives me nuts. I keep them very short because I don't like that feeling. I don't like prying up on stuff with my fingernails. I don't know why. It's always been that way. Nope, that's not it. Can't remember how it goes now. Nope, can't remember. I learned that one by ear like a long time ago. Oh, might be that one. Say I could never bite my nails. Even that feeling. Just having someone biting their nails beside me makes me crazy. If I can hear them, especially like if I hear their teeth go, it's, yeah, I think everybody has anxiety, but different things. I had a really rough 2019, and I got to the point where I was almost agoraphobic. I had a hard time leaving the house because every time I left the house, something horrible would happen, and it was just piling on and piling on, and piling on. And I get to the point where I couldn't do even the smallest things. But actually, that's one of the biggest helps was being on the Potter's House series on Curiosity Inc.'s channel. Got me out of the house, got me meeting some new people, just got me working. So I find getting cooped up too much was very, really, really difficult. Not having a job, looking for work. But every time you go out, it costs money, whether that be fuel, like gas, or in my situation, it was public transit. It was costing money, and I just couldn't do it. I was already struggling. So without work in Alberta, it was just, I'd hate to see it now. I feel bad because there was so much job loss, and now with COVID-19, there's even more. So I'm glad to have come out too and meet everybody, Hannah. It's been eye-opening for one. It's helped me a lot. I can cope a lot better now. So yeah, the work has been, that's been the biggest thing right now. It's not feeling like you have purpose every morning, like when you wake up and you're like, okay, well, I have to go out and go to work, and trying to find that purpose. I've always been, I wouldn't say workaholic, but I have to have a job. I've always had a job, and if I get up and I don't have anything to do, I have nowhere to go, it constantly wears on me. I don't know what I'm playing. I just random chords. This is what most of my Sundays usually consist of. I just sort of sit here and I think I'm going to end up being one of those people that works till noon on the day of his funeral. I think if I ever stop working, I'll just die early. Which is, I need to have that. I need to have that ambition, that drive that keeps me going. It is. I really wish I could take a video, because it's constant running, basically. Well, not running, you're not allowed to run. That's a fast-paced walk. But it's constantly going back and forth, like I literally go in circles. As like I said, it's just uh, basically a conveyor belt, and it's just spitting out parts. So you have to find your sort of rhythm, and you got to be back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And sometimes it's 2.5 hours of straight back and forth nonstop before you get a break. And then you get a 10-minute break, and you come back and you do the same thing for another. It's both tiring and exhausting. Yeah, Linda, it's if you can't work and you, I find an idle mind um, is the worst thing for me sometimes. So I have to keep myself busy, and that's why I'll sit here and sometimes just, like I said, play random chords. Yeah, fake it till you make it, Hannah. That's all we can do. That's a good week. I just put in 48 hours this week, and I'll probably do. Well, I have my kids next weekend, so I'm hoping that I won't have to work overtime, but I'll at least do 40 next week. That's a normal sort of schedule, but yeah, generally it's between 80 and 92 hours every 2 weeks. Yeah, I don't go out much either anymore, Linda. With the whole COVID thing, I basically just go out. Occasionally, I go for a walk, but that's one of the reasons why I haven't been putting up a lot of videos of just me. Like I was going to show you guys around town and stuff like that. But right now, everything's sort of closed. There's not a whole lot going on. They're starting to reopen things, which excites my kids, but they still haven't opened up the parks or anything like that. But they started opening up things like some of the basketball courts and stuff like that, so we can actually go out and do some activities outdoors. It is exhausting, and it's funny. Like I'm tired by the time I go home, and I say exhausted, but physically exhausted. But it's actually a good feeling. Like I feel like I've accomplished something that day. So it's kind of like, I don't know if anyone's familiar with, like, a workout high after you've worked out or done something extremely physical. You kind of get that I've done something. It makes you feel happy, and I think that's chemical related. I think it's releasing cortisol and things like that. So um, uh, your body sort of uh, feels a little better. It helps your mind state as well. So this is really helpful. When I worked at a desk job, I found it was mentally exhausting, and there was no real reward for that. Like, it's just because when I went home, I was still going over the same things I was going over all day at work. I was still thinking about it. It never actually let up. Oh, sorry to hear that, Linda. Yeah, our kids are home too right now. They're with their mom. They stay with her for most of the week. But for a while there, I had them. I had them for a few weeks in a row, and it's definitely exhausting, especially when you're stuck in the house because you're trying to find things for them to do and just keep them entertained and keep. Well, for me, it's a boy and a girl, and they're years apart, so there's a little bit of arguing and tension between them sometimes when they get a little bit squirrely. So trying to keep them happy is fun. Trying to keep them on the same team is difficult some days. Could I sing Hallelujah? I could. I don't know how to play it right now. My kiddos are 6 and 11. My son's 11, my daughter's 6. I actually have sung Hallelujah on Smule, on my old Smule account. They wouldn't, for some reason, it wouldn't let me log into that account anymore. I had to make another one. But if you look up Patrick Martin 67 with no spaces, which I don't know why it's 67, it's just the number they gave me that was available. But Patrick Martin 67 on Smule, and it's one of the first ones I ever did before I even got a microphone. I was just using a headset for a cell phone. So it's not the best, and it's one of the early ones. So it is definitely hard for them to play nice at that age, because obviously my son's at that age where he wants a little bit of space, and my daughter's at that age where she wants to play with her big brother all the time. So that, I mean, they butt heads a little bit, but usually we're pretty good. Yeah, I don't have that option here. I only have a 2-bedroom, so, and that was a stretch to get a 2-bedroom. Yeah, it's expensive to live in this town. It's a small town. You wouldn't think it would be that expensive, but because the plant I work for, um, a lot of people move to this town just to work there, which the same with me. Um, People can ask whatever they want for rent, and they pretty much get it. I'm lucky here because my landlord is very fair. They do crafts, Minmins. I don't have a whole lot right now. I'm still trying to sort of get back on my feet, and like I said, it's kind of expensive to live in a small town. But I don't have a whole lot, but I just got living room furniture. I've been here for almost a month. So I have to say thank you to my aunt and my dad, who brought me down a couple chairs. My aunt gave me a sofa to sit on. Well, it's crazy. Someone, one of the places looking at first was a 1-bedroom, and it was $950 a month plus utilities, and it was literally like your living room was a hallway. When I was in Alberta, I was paying $1,400 a month for a 3-bedroom plus all the utilities. So I was paying just in housing, basically, and utilities, I was paying over $1,600 a month, and that was crazy. And people would say, "Well, you could pay a mortgage for that," and that's fine, but you have to come up with a down payment for that. And when you're already out on your own and you're paying that much in rent, it's hard to put some aside when you need 10% down. I mean, an 800 square foot house in Edmonton was going for 350,000 at one point. It was ridiculous. Yeah, plus taxes. Yeah. And then when you buy a home now, if you get a problem with your roof, you get a problem with your refrigerator, you get a problem with your stove, that's on you. As long as they're dedicated to each other, that's the most important thing. Siblings don't always have to play nice. I'm lucky. I got two siblings, two older sisters, that I wouldn't normally had. I probably would have been an only child. But when my dad and my biological mother separated, my stepmom already had two children, and so I got lucky. So we get along. We get along fairly well. Well, it's been close to almost 2 hours now, so I think I'm gonna actually have to stop procrastinating and actually get some housework done and some groceries before they close the grocery store here on Sunday. But I appreciate you all for coming in and sitting with me for a while. And I hope you guys had fun, and I definitely did. So I hope you guys all have a good day. Stay nice and stay kind to each other. And we'll catch you next time. Bye. Oops. If it ever works.